The Congress party has avoided the Newshour debate tonight, and the Congress party and the pro-Congress voices and all Congress and pro-Congress voices are not coming on the Newshour tonight. They feel perhaps that they need more comfortable forums to appear. They need places where they will be thrown underhand deliveries like the interview 2 years back, where a TV editor kept talking about how Vadra could join politics. Maybe they need those softball underhand deliveries, and that's why they're avoiding the Newshour tonight. Pro-Congress voices happy to go on other channels, avoiding Times Now. Well, I take it as a compliment, though I keep our satellite links open. The Congress, pro-Congress, all those guys who may want to have their point of view have been invited. And even during the live show, and we are now opening up for live tweets as well, using the hashtag #YesWeAreSerious, we extend an invitation to the Congress party, to the so-called pro-Congress voices and everyone else. In fact, tonight even Tehseen Poonawala has run away from the debate. This has happened a couple of hours back, which tells you nobody wants to answer any questions when it goes too far. Sambit Patra is smiling there, you know. The fact is, Sambit, what happened yesterday was very serious. Mr. Rajagopalan, it was extremely serious. Introducing everyone, Smita Prakash, editor of ANI. Sumit Verma is an advocate. He's not happy with the media's position here. I wonder why. Rahul Narvekar has a middle-of-the-line approach. I hope it's not going to be the case on the Newshour debate. Mr. Rajagopalan, senior journalist, and Sambit Patra of the BJP. Tehseen Poonawala pulled out 2 hours back. He wants to go on channels where he's asked underhand delivery questions. Well, why was he shocked? Let's start with you. Tell me, why was he shocked in your view? You saw those pictures out there, Rahul. Why was he looking so shocked?
Well, at the outset, when your name appears in a controversial CAG report, certainly the matter is in public domain. And when such a matter is in public domain, the media, the public is entitled to ask you these questions.
So why was he shocked?
And I would say he should have taken this to his advantage to clarify his position. Yeah. Because if he wouldn't have done that, he's obviously going to be misunderstood.
But he's lived behind an iron curtain for so long. He hides behind an iron curtain like most politicians like you.
Mr. Vadra's conduct is certainly not something which can be pardoned. Certainly not something which people are going to like.
But that's what politicians are used to.
Certainly not something which people are okay with. Right. But having said that, I think we also need to look at the other spectrum, and the other spectrum being personal space. After a question being put, if a particular leader or an individual or an entity would not prefer to answer that question, I think we should leave it at that. We've seen it more often. No, I'm not referring to this particular case.
No, what is private? This is not a private place. No, Smita, was this a private place? You know, was this a private place? Let's clarify that. Was it a private place, ITTC hotel, owned by the taxpayer of India, not Robert Vadra's private garden? Absolutely. Smita, 1 second. Smita.
It was not a private event. It was not a private place. We were invited. There was a press release. There was a press invite that went out. We went out there. No ground rules. Nothing was said that you can ask a particular question, not ask a particular question. Right. And not that we would comply by those
So
rules.
You were not gate crashing the event?
We were there and... No, absolutely not. This whole talk about, paparazzi culture, are we sitting around waiting in restaurants near swimming pools, inside aircraft, waiting to pounce on any of these persons? No, we're not. We're there at a public event for which we've been invited to cover as press reporters. And the question being asked is a very valid question. It's not just a softball. The first one was a softball. He answered that very valid question because the event was about that, and Mr. Surjewala saying that we hounded Mr. Vadra. The visuals show that ANI did not hound Mr. Vadra. He's answering in a very equanimous tone. He is answering very mild manner, and it's the second question which he didn't expect. And frankly, I can't understand why he didn't expect that question. I mean, he's been around. He knows that there's a CAG report. He knows about all this. He should have expected this question to come, just like the Congress should expect these questions.
No, I think Smita is absolutely right. In fact, I think it would have been to his advantage had he clarified his position on it. And I think when media comes up with these issues, I think every person who is involved in that particular issue should come out and clarify his position and stop at that. I mean, there is no reason to get upset. Absolutely justified. But then, having said that, I come to the point I made a little while earlier, that not with regards to this particular case, but yes, if there is a question put across to someone and he's not keen on answering it, I don't think we should press it to an extent where someone is made to lose his school.
How can made to lose his school? I mean, this is Mr. Rajagopalan made to lose his school. Should Robert Vadra tell us which is a convenient place where we can? I mean, I think Mr. Rajagopalan, if Vadra feels that Ashoka Hotel is not an appropriate place, why doesn't he give you and me a place and a time? We will ask him 25 questions regarding his land deals. We will not have to doorstep him. But the fact is, people like Robert Vadra, who by virtue of being married into the Gandhi family, have lived behind an iron curtain, they are not used to asking these questions.
The arrogance will not give you that interview. He is a very arrogant fellow. Because he says, Mango Man, Banana Republic. If you see that bold comments and added to that his insult to the cameraman,
True.
It shows his personality. On the top of it, his anger is genuine. Because this is the story which created him a major anger. This 44 crores is not 1 or 2 rupees. Is all earned by you and me, taxpayers' money he has looted. Therefore, he is responsible to answer this question. Today, the main story is this. That is why he was very much anger, and he is very much repeatedly saying, are you serious? Yes, as you said, we are serious. This is the serious question. Not only Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Robert Vadra should also apologize for such type of windfall loot.
Yeah, that's perhaps the reason, isn't it? That's the reason I think, Ms. Sambit Patra, that the Congress party is avoiding coming to Newshour debates on this subject. It's not about his behavior. You see, as long as the questions are limited on the behavior, they're all right. Because then they will say, oh, you are the paparazzi culture. They will, as far as the Congress party is concerned, I'm sorry to have to say it, they've run away from the Newshour tonight because they want to go on channels that they think are more friendly to them. You see, as far as the Congress party is concerned, tomorrow A. Raja will say, don't ask me about 2G. Ask me about the weather in the Nilgiris. Right? Tomorrow, Suresh Kalmadi will say, don't ask me about the CWG. Ask me about the traffic in Pune, for example. Those are good questions. That is a good media. They don't like a bad media where a young idealistic reporter, and I want to place on record, I'm so proud, Smita, of your reporter. That young man has actually asked the question that senior journalists have not asked Robert Vadra when they had the opportunity to interview him face to face. They've asked him questions such as, how will you deliver the country? Will you join politics? Does all this, public interest embarrass you? What about the family, etc., etc.? All those questions are asked, but the basic question is not asked. And I think that's the real change that's happening. Sambit Patra, why do you think the Congress party has run away from this debate tonight? The Congress party has much to answer.
You have to realize one thing. Arnab, you have to realize one thing. Since morning, I have coined a term for whatever I have seen. I mean, the kind of behavior I have seen of Mr. Robert Vadra. It is classically a case of monarchical high-headedness. They were used to the kind of monarchy, since last 10 years, he's used to monarchy, all kind of entitlements without any sense of accountability or responsibility. And that's the reason as to why you were rightly pointing out, he was hiding behind an iron curtain. And when suddenly a young scribe, a young reporter suddenly puts his face beyond this curtain and shows a mic in front of Mr. Robert Vadra and asks him something which no one has dared to ask, he suddenly does not understand that such a serious question could be asked to Mr. Robert Vadra because he is the monarch of this country. And that's when he realizes that, well, yes, the term of the Congress is over. The term of the first family of Congress is over, and he just rushes out, calls the journalist a nut. And he was the man who was calling India
the journalist an idiot.
If you remember.
He calls the journalist an idiot before that. If you look at the footage, Sambit, carefully, and what really offends me out here, and I truly believe today,
Arnab, he should apologize now.
That he has to come out and apologize.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi, Mr. Sonia Gandhi,
there you are.
Robert Vadra should apologize for that.
Or the Congress party should apologize on their behalf because there's scant respect shown by a member of their family and not a private citizen. And to the Congress party, fundamental questions, Mr. Rajagopalan, I'm coming to you, fundamental questions. A private citizen. What is this private citizen argument? A private citizen cannot say...
He's not a private citizen. Private citizen cannot have, security-free airport entry. If he is a security individual person,
privileged citizen.
the CISF should frisk him. For 10 years he was enjoying that privilege.
You see, and Mr. Rajagopalan, may I just put out a public request once again tonight, because so many of you have noticed the fact that the Congress party has run away from tonight's debate, and even pro-Congress voices have run away from tonight's debate, that I make a public appeal on the Newshour tonight for the Congress party to come and answer some questions. It is important and imperative. They're national party. This gentleman is married into the Gandhi family. Right? He has campaigned for the party. He said, I can get elected from wherever I want. He's not a private citizen. And to the Congress party tonight, which is deliberately avoided the Newshour, I ask them once again, publicly request them to come on the Newshour and participate in this debate. Not doing so is itself, an oligarchic attitude which is unacceptable in a modern day democracy. Yes, Smita, I'm coming to you. Yes, please. Go ahead, Smita.
Yeah, Mr. Surjewala said that you people have been hounding Mr. Vadra. The sad fact is that what Mr. Rajagopalan said, for 10 years, nobody really hounded. We are all, we are all culprits that we did not hound Mr. Vadra. And here was this young reporter, still in his early 20s, who's not burdened by history, who's not burdened by the larger picture like we all were for the past 10 years. He just asked a question which is a very natural question to have asked Mr. Vadra. And this party, which is the oldest political party, still does not have a media strategy after losing so many elections. That also is a matter of wonder, isn't it?
Well, it is a matter of wonder. It is certainly a matter of wonder. Should I get Sumit into the debate? Because I was told that Sumit has certain problems with what the media has done. And I would like an open debate on what the media has done wrong. I think the media has done absolutely right. I also agree with you, Smita. You are proud of that reporter. He makes me proud too for what he has done. He has asked the straight question. Every person, politician, film star, businessman or common man, if the news is relevant, he can be doorstepped and he can be asked questions. Nobody's entering into his house. It's a public place. If Mr. Vadra felt, Sumit, that the question is inappropriate, he can say no comments and he can walk away. But he was shoving the mic. No, one second. He was shoving the mic. He was therefore showing his power. He has misused security that I and all of us pay for. 36, and I want to say 36 security persons cover a person with Z plus category security. Now, he can't use those people to get the footage deleted. He's treating them like his personal army, Sumit. And I think action should be taken. You are a lawyer, actually. You should be demanding action unilaterally against Mr. Robert Vadra, not for all that he's done for his corruption. Yes, okay. Go ahead, Sumit.
My comment on the subject is that it's purely a case of a balance between two fundamental rights. Firstly, the right to information, which includes the freedom of press, granted under Article 19(1)(a) of the Constitution of India. And secondly, a fundamental right to privacy, which is guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. And right to privacy is not only a fundamental right, it is also a basic human right guaranteed under Article 12 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
1 second. Just 1 minute. Just can I ask you under what law? No, 1 second. Yes. I have one question for you. Please tell me. You see, this is very convenient for these dynasts and people from these dynasties and those married into these dynasties. They pull out, the lawyers like you come out and say laws apply. I want to ask you, what law applies when an election officer is transferred for stopping Robert Vadra's motorcycle rally?
If there is a violation of law,
okay. Which law? No, one second. Sumit, look at it. Look at the hypocrisy of all this. The law applies only for the Aam Aadmi. Right, so there was a person who once overtook Robert Vadra's car. No, one second. In January 2014, 1 minute, and I'm opening up the phone lines tonight, and my question also is, and I'm asking everyone tonight, not just on this subject, yes, we are serious, I'm opening up phone lines on whether you think that the Congress party, or those who like to speak for Robert Vadra, the pro-Congress voices, that amorphous crowd which is neither here nor there, but whenever Robert Vadra comes under attack, usually comes up and defends him. And also, if I may say so, 1 second, Mr. Robert Vadra himself should appear on programs like the Newshour to explain his position. Now, as far as the law is concerned, one more example. Sumit, tell me. January 2014, there was an executive of a private company. He made one big mistake. He overtook Robert Vadra's car. And you know what happened? The man was caught and he was handed over to the police. The police did a stringent background check on him. And then the police asked him, what were your evil intentions that you dared to overtake Robert Vadra's car? till today, I don't know what is the law which applies, which makes Robert Vadra treat a common man like that. And one more thing, Robert Vadra says...
If any common man's fundamental rights are affected, that common man can directly go to the High Court under Article 226 by way of a writ petition and challenge
please. Smita wants to come. No, please.
Can I ask the lawyer a question?
Please. No, one second. Smita is responding to that. No, this is a highly technical argument. 1 second. Smita, 1 second.
I'm saying something different. See, I'm not at all defending Robert Vadra's action of throwing away the microphone of a
just
reporter.
a minute. Sumit, 1 second. Let's get Smita into this. Yes, Smita.
I have a question to the lawyer. Now, the security guards around Mr. Vadra, whether it is SPG, Delhi Police, private security, they are supposed to protect the protectee. Does it fall in the ambit of any security guard when there is no verbal abuse, no physical abuse, to go and do something, a bidding of Mr. Vadra to go and delete the footage of a camera person who has not violated any law as far as I can see? Under what rules, under what law? How come privacy law is not there for us? How come there are no laws for protection of the media? He can just go and tell him delete and put pressure. Is that something which is under the ambit of law for the security guard and for Mr. Vadra?
But you know, we would be rather fooling ourselves if we believe that this is happening for the first time. We've seen situations where government security guards are made to clean shoes of politicians. So we've seen that as well. So this is not the first time it is happening, but it's wrong. Whether it's the first time or if it happened in Uttar Pradesh, whether it happened with Mr. Vadra, this should not be encouraged at all. I'm absolutely happy that the media is talking about these things. And I think that needs to be appreciated.
No, you think therefore that when political leaders behave in such boorish behavior, they should come out and actually explain themselves.
Absolutely. That's the first thing I started with. I said, when the media comes to you and questions you about something, that's the best opportunity for you to clarify your stand. Because if you don't do that, you are subjecting yourself to be misunderstood.
So when your party leader Ajit Pawar made that hideous comment about urination and the absence of water, how many times did he come and explain himself?
Mr. Arnab Goswami.
I know my name. You don't remind me of my name.
You know your name, but you don't know the facts. That's the problem.
I know the facts of the question.
Mr. Arnab Goswami only knows his name. He does not know the facts. Now let me answer your question.
I know my facts. I know my facts. I just told you something. Don't get shaken like Robert Vadra. It's all right.
Mr. Goswami, let me answer your question. Mr. Ajit Pawar publicly apologized for what he had said. And therefore, he need not come and give private bites to Times Now. He does not consider Times Now to be a privileged channel. So don't expect that. Mr. Ajit Pawar did what he had to.
Why are you getting worked up?
I'm not getting worked up. I'm just trying to tell you that Mr. Arnab Goswami
lines are open now.
Mr. Arnab Goswami feels that his channel and he is privileged to get first bite from all politicians, but that's not the way it functions.
Arnab,
when a politician wants to make a statement, he comes out and does so, like Mr. Ajit Pawar did.
Mr. Narvekar, don't flatter yourself.
I'm not.
Nobody wants Ajit Pawar's attention. Nobody wants Robert Vadra's attention. I mean, I constantly ask this question. I'm asking this question. By the way, lines are open, and I'm going to put the tweets live also. So who is Robert Vadra? What has he achieved in life? What is the basis of his merit? What is the proven skill that he has displayed besides the skill to use government officials to make 600% profit? What is his professional background? In a country which is driven increasingly by merit, where does a person like Robert Vadra stand? Robert Vadra simply stands for a culture of entitlement, the dynasty which Lutyens Delhi has been controlled by for a very, very, very long time. And I think if this government, if the BJP government is serious, they should prove to us, Mr. Sambit Patra, that Robert Vadra was not just an election issue. Because today I don't hear your chief minister in Haryana talk about it. 1 second. Your government could have taken suo motu action in the Robert Vadra case. You don't. A perfunctory soundbite is given by the information and broadcasting minister and nothing more than that, Mr. Sambit Patra. So somewhere, I hope that there is no behind the scene understanding or compromise between both sides, that you don't question us and we don't question you. Because, the kind of reaction we've seen from the government has been fairly tepid and fairly mild. Yes, please. Mr. Patra, why is it so?
Arnab, take my words. Arnab, take my words on the news hour. There would be less of words, but more of action. Take my words on this. Law will take its course.
No, I don't like this line, law will take its course.
The law, no. This is a prudent line. This is a prudent line. This is a line which comes from my heart because I know my party well. I know that we will speak less, but we will do more. We will do what the law allows us to do. We will not obstruct the justice path. We will not tweak policies
Dr. Patra,
to
it is
protect
24
anyone.
hours. Why
Robert Vadra will surely get. He will get what he deserves.
Hours. Why you are not taken suo motu action?
It's a relevant question. Why haven't you?
The INB minister has emphatically stated that if a complaint is made, surely action would be taken. For any action, a complaint has to be made.
No, Mr. Patra. Mr. Patra, you understand? No, one minute. Mr. Patra, I place on record tonight that ANI is not just another news channel. Okay? You are aware of it. And ANI is a news wire agency. All of us, most of us subscribe to ANI, right? So Smita, who is there, she is the editor of ANI, and in a sense her reporter who was there on the job. Smita represents all news channels. So it is not just a physical attack on one individual organization. Mr. Vadra attacked all of the media. He called all reporters idiots. Right?
Idiot.
He did so. And I think, no, 1 minute. Right now, our news desk has called 3 Congress spokespersons. None of them are willing to come on record. The question I asked those Congress spokespersons is, do you allow someone to call the entire Indian media an idiot and physically assault a reporter who therefore represents, by virtue of representing ANI, every single news channel or prominent news channel in the country, and you will not even come out and speak a word on it, Mr. Rajagopalan? That's what hurts us. And lines are being opened up. Calls are coming tonight. My call, Mr. AJ call. Yes, Mr. AJ call. I know you're on the line. But before that, Mr. Rajagopalan, I mean, this is very serious. This is not an issue which the Congress
very
party
serious,
can brush aside.
And you have taken it up. Now, Editors Guild should now condemn this. TV Cameramen Association should condemn this. Why they have not condemned it for 24 hours is not only we do not know that. Editors Guild should come out now. Are they afraid that Robert Vadra will come to power again? No, I don't think so. Senior editors are there. They should condemn this incident. It's an assault on the media.
Absolutely it is. Place the records out there. Yes, Sumit, place the records. Mr. Vadra had no problem answering questions on fitness machines.
What I heard.
Yes?
Yes. Or now, may I just say, in case what I heard, that in case the footage of the journalist had been snatched and deleted, then of course the journalist has a right under law to file a complaint under criminal intimidation and other offences.
Well, why should Robert Vadra do that?
The law will take.
Why should he save that camera? Why should he remove that camera? He should answer that question.
In this country to take care of rights of everybody. In case there is a violation of anybody's civil or fundamental rights, law is there to take course. What I'm saying is that...
No, what about the law enforcement machinery? Is it blind? No, 1 second. One second. What about the law enforcement machinery? It is blind. It is blind. In February 2012, in February 2012, 1 minute, Sumit, one minute. In February 2012, an IAS officer who stopped a motorcycle rally of Robert Vadra was transferred. What was the law then? Who was applying the law? The law enforcement machinery watched it. They acted on its own. Why can't they act on their own in this case? Second example, in January 2012, when the Congress government was in power, as I told you, an executive of a private firm was harassed, tortured, interrogated by this police, his intentions questioned because he overtook Robert Vadra's car. At that point of time, the entire law enforcement machinery acted on their own. I'm asking you tonight, why do you leave it to the reporter? Why should the entire law enforcement machinery not act on its own? Why should the entire law... You see, the question is very simple. You know, you want me to say it straight? The fact of the matter is he's not a private citizen. He is the son-in-law of Sonia Gandhi. And all the favors he's alleged to have got, is believed to be as a result of his familial connections. So it is a serious matter. Yes, Sambit. Yes, Sambit.
Held to be illegal, they will be cancelled.
Arnab, remember one thing. In the Congress, the family is the party. Remember, and that's the reason as to why Robert Vadra is not a private citizen, but Congress means family is the party. Party is not the family there. So in that way, whoever are members of the first family, that they define what Congress party is. To say that Mr. Robert Vadra is outside the premises of the party is totally false.
The other thing they say is that this is a personal issue. I don't understand how this is a personal issue. AJ Kaul is a medical practitioner from Jammu. He's calling me tonight. Before I come to you, Mr. Kaul, my point is I don't understand how this is a personal issue. The man is accused of receiving favors from a state government. How is it a personal issue? It's a public issue. Any better answer? Mr. Kaul, what do you think?
First of all, I agree with you that it is not a personal question.
Yes.
Actually, it is a question of the nation.
Yes.
You see that hello?
Yeah, just reduce the volume of your TV set. Otherwise, you just mute your TV set. Otherwise, I'll hear your echo. Go ahead, Mr. Kaul.
Okay. Actually, I said that this is not a private question. This is not a only question especially in Jammu and K. But I wonder why Kapil Sibal, like lawyer of the Congress party, why he is silent? Why he has not spoken about Vadra? Vadra has taken the land of the Haryana and has sold to Haryana.
Yes.
But it is only because of Sonia Gandhi, because he is son-in-law of Sonia Gandhi. So
Yes.
that is why he has sold that land.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
if they won't take any action, he is
Yes.
threatening media.
Yes.
I don't know, in democracy we should not threaten media.
Yes, yes. I thank you, Mr. Kaul, for saying that. You know, I once again, Robert Vadra says we are serious. We are serious because we are asking you, how do you purchase a property worth crores with a capital of 1 lakh rupees? How do you increase your net value by 600%? How do you get Corporation Bank, to deny issuing an overdraft to your own company? How did your fixed assets go up from 7 crores to 60 crores in a short period of a couple of years? These are very relevant questions. I mean, in any country, these questions would have been asked. Pawan Sharma is also with us right now. Pawan Sharma from Nasik. Go ahead, Pawan.
Hi Arnab, very good evening. I am
Good
the
evening.
viewer of the Times now. But before I say something, I am putting on the air now. Today morning around 12 p.m. I was watching a Times Now channel, and Sanjay Jha, the spokesperson of the Congress party, he was blaming the Times Now channel. He was saying the Times Now is a neutral and he's favoring the BJP, and the issue is not very much big important. But I wanted to give this message to Sanjay Jha. This is the brazenness of the Congress party. And because of such kind of the brazenness, Congress is gone out of the way in the Gujarat, in the Rajasthan, now recently in the Lok Sabha, recently in my Maharashtra also, and upcoming days there is a gift from the Congress also. In Jharkhand also it is going to happen. Second, I heard Digvijay Singh saying it's a very small issue. Rahul Gandhi is sleeping in the parliament. It's a small issue.
Yeah.
Robert Vadra, what is he saying?
Yeah.
We say the media is the second pillar of this country. How can he say like that?
Well, Digvijay Singh told our reporter Aditya today that why don't you just go home and enjoy your Sunday? Or maybe Mr. Digvijay Singh thinks that we are living in another time. That's what he said to our reporters this morning. Yes, Smita wants to come in. Pawan, thank you for your call. You know, we think this is serious here, Pawan, because maybe for the Congress party, 40, 50 crores is a very small amount of money, because the CAG's first draft report says the Congress government did little to recover 41.51 crore of profit that Vadra made overnight. That's a lot of money, Mr. Rajagopalan. Maybe it is not big enough compared to the Kalmadis and the Rajas.
That is why I repeatedly show this, Arnab. That is why I repeatedly show this. Today, that was, Mr. Robert Vadra knew that the story was coming today. That is why he lost his anger.
Yeah.
That is why he said that newsmen are stupid, idiot. This is the story. Now you realize this is the story.
Yes, Sambit.
Yes, Arnab, remember one thing, when a private citizen loots the public property, naturally the private citizen would be asked about the whole issue. So in this whole scenario, Mr. Robert Vadra, in his personal capability, only because he belongs to the Gandhi family, has looted the nation, and that's the reason as to why the nation and the journalists of the nation have the rights to ask every question pertaining to that loot to Mr. Robert Vadra, from which he's shying away. But I just wanted to say to Mr. Sharma, who had just given a call, that Mr. Sharma, rest assured, the footage was not deleted. But Congress would be deleted from this country.
No, what happened to the footage is actually an interesting story. Ramesh Agarwal from Jorhat is a businessman. Before I go to him, I want to ask you, Smita, what happened to the footage? Because, you know, these policemen, the security guards came and tried to get the footage deleted, but they couldn't. So can you give us the inside story of what happened?
Yeah, actually what happened was, as you saw in the footage, that Mr. Vadra said footage delete karao.
Yeah.
So the security guards, some of them went with Mr. Vadra and some of them came towards the cameraman and the reporter, and the reporter said, I will not delete it, and he came on the line with us and he said, wo footage delete karne ke liye keh rahe hain. So we were arguing with the security people, where another security guard went and told the cameraman, delete karo. Now the cameraman wanted to just pick up the camera and run with the visuals.
Yeah.
That's the natural instinct of a cameraman and a reporter, get out when the scene is getting hot. Now what he did was, since the demand was to delete the visual, he hit the delete button over one of the clips. One of the clips which got deleted was of the coverage inside of a treadmill. The answer which Mr. Vadra is giving about this fabulous treadmill that's there. So he deleted that. The security guy saw the delete button being pressed, and either for that reason or else because we argued that Mr. Vadra was not being physically threatened, for one reason or the other they let them go. I think it is probably because of the delete button pressing that they let them go. That is one. The second point is that the Congress is watching this play out from the morning and from last night. And from Renuka Chaudhary, who found it very funny last night when you interviewed her, to frivolous statement by Mr. Digvijay saying go home, enjoy your Sunday. I still can't figure out that they don't have a Robert Vadra policy till today. So I think I just can't understand why they can't bring Mr. Vadra to speak if they don't have an answer. Ask Mr. Vadra to come and clarify that it was an error of judgment.
Well, may I say this, Smita? Your reporter and your cameraman must be complimented for their quick thinking. They kept their cool. They were being physically assaulted by this man. Attempts were made to delete the footage. I think it's fantastic. It shows presence of mind that the reporter and the camera persons did not allow that footage to be deleted. I think this is contemporary Indian journalism at its best, that they did not succumb to the kind of pressure, and it can be quite difficult for a single camera. There weren't other reporters, the single cameraman, single reporter in that situation to hold on to that footage. Yes, Smita.
Yeah. One more thing I want to just recollect this incident. That if you recall, there was an attempt on Rajiv Gandhi's life at Rajghat. Then also we had that footage of this man trying to shoot from on top of a tree. And what our cameraman did that moment was, he knew that this is going to happen to him, that they are going to demand the tape of him, the security. So what he did was, he took out the tape immediately from the camera, put a dummy tape inside, hid his camera, and when, sure enough, the security of Mr. Rajiv Gandhi came and said, tape nikalo. So he gave him the dummy tape, picked up the camera, ran out, and we fed the pictures of the attempt on Rajiv Gandhi's life. Now, if only, our reporters probably have that experience of doing this, because we know that this is what happens. Now, if only Mr. Robert Vadra would learn a little bit from Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, who was very accessible to the media, answered every question put to him on Bofors, did not ever say that I will not answer this question. He answered everything. You and I, we grew up in the age where Mr. Rajiv Gandhi was getting into politics, and you saw that he was very accessible to the media.
You see, he's grown up, or rather he's, over the years, he has lived in a completely sheltered culture where there has been an iron curtain between members of the Gandhi family and people like Robert Vadra and the rest of Indians. There has almost been this attitude as if you are like a royal family out there, and that therefore there will be this curtain between you and others, there will be no interaction. Robert Vadra, I place on record again, has no issues interacting with the media. He did an interview in 2012 ahead of the UP elections where he was fielding questions about his possible entry into politics. So he wants to talk about that. He did an interview with some glamour magazine, where he's allowed the cameras to go into his gym and show off, his physique. He's happy with that. The fact is, he expects to be asked only softball questions. And the first time he's asked about his comfortable land deals straight up, a question that makes him uncomfortable, he snaps, which is why, let's go to the footage once again. let's play the footage once again. It's very interesting. His physical demeanor changes, his body language begins to change, and he keeps repeating the question, are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? He responds then physically. Fact of the matter is he's simply worried. He's worried that this is perhaps the first time he's been asked a question which might now become a flood. And Mr. Robert Vadra, if you're watching tonight, if anyone close to you is watching tonight, expect a flood of questions. I was told today, remove your camera outside Robert Vadra's residence. I want to ask all those Congress leaders who said remove your camera from Robert Vadra's residence, do they own the road outside his house? Our cameras were not inside the gates of his house. Do they own the road outside his house as well? Or do they not believe that the winds of change have blown into Lutyens, Delhi as well? Ramesh Agarwal, businessman from Jorhat, calling tonight. Mr. Agarwal, are you there? Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Arnab.
Good evening. Good evening. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Arnab. I have a question for Robert Vadra. That if he wouldn't have married Priyanka Gandhi, what is his identity? Who is he? His existence may not have been known by we Indians. We even don't know him even if he had not married to Gandhi dynasty. And he is behaving like a goon today.
You see,
the fourth pillar of democracy. Who is he to behave like that? I want to know.
You know, Mr. Agarwal, somewhere, people when they are in power for a long time want to intimidate the media. They feel threatened by the media. They don't like independent media in any form. And that reporter was simply a symbol of an independent media. I'm told he's joined, the news organization just a few months back. He's just got a few months of experience under his belt, I'm told. But he's asked a question which is on everybody's mind. What do you have to say about your controversial land deals? And for the Congress party, which today has chosen to boycott the Newshour, which I think is a very unfortunate trend. It shows a streak of arrogance and it shows their lack of faith in a democratic debate in this country. And their absence is noted as much as the Trinamool Congress's absence from debates concerning what is happening in West Bengal. I want to remind the Congress party that there was a man called Asaram Bapu, Rahul. And when Asaram Bapu's supporters assaulted the media, which party was the first party which went public with it and said, this is terrible, you cannot do this with the media, right? This was the Congress party. When questions were asked, did the BJP threaten journalists who ask uncomfortable questions? Manish Tiwari spoke about it. When Times Now was blacked out in Uttar Pradesh because we took on the Samajwadi Party, Manish Tiwari and the Congress Party spoke about it. When a Time magazine journalist called Alex Perry, Mr. Rajagopalan, was harassed by the BJP government in 2001 after he wrote a piece on Vajpayee, the Congress Party fielded Jaipal Reddy, nobody less, to comment on it. You remember all this. When the BJP targeted the Hellcast, which is why I believe that the Bharatiya Janata Party has no business saying we are the ambassadors of free media. We hope you will be in the future. But don't tell me you have been in the past. Mr. Patra, yes. And Manish Tiwari, when he said the media does not have freedom in Gujarat, Manish Tiwari was at the forefront. Mr. Rajagopalan saying we want media freedom. Today, the same Congress party which accused others, Mr. Rajagopalan, on trampling on media freedom has gone silent and gone weak-kneed because they don't want to speak on Robert Vadra.
That is why you are keeping a empty chair there, Arnab.
Yeah.
Because they hit the Congress should change the hand symbol to a chair symbol. Because you kept an empty chair there. Congress should come and sit there and announce their
I still think they should.
And say that we apologize. Congress should apologize by taking the seat.
I think they should. And I think we are extremely serious about this whole matter because this absence will not be forgiven. It becomes very, very, very convenient. I have our next caller, Praveen Prashant. He's a journalist from Delhi. He has more insights on what happened yesterday. Because today the Congress party is coming out with a series of excuses, from claiming the reporter was arrogant, Smita, to saying that the event was a private event, all of which are factually incorrect. All of which are factually incorrect.
Yeah, you can see that the question being put to Mr. Vadra is being done in a very polite manner. It was not aggressive at all. The camera was not shoved into his face as some of the Congress persons are saying. Nothing like that was done. And I have another thing to say, even though the Congress should be saying this, but I am saying this, that while everybody blames the Congress party for emergency, there is also another legacy of the Congress party. Tomorrow is the 26th 106th anniversary of India's help towards the Maldives coup, when the Congress party under Rajiv Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi's government took a media team out there to show how we were helping in that. We stabilized Maldives, and that was a big victory. And in that operation, it was Rajiv Gandhi's foresight. That's how he treated the media. This is also a legacy of the Congress, not just the emergency.
Well, we have Praveen Prashant, who's on the phone line, with us right now. He's a journalist. I think he was also at the event, and they were also invited for the event. He can tell us more about that. But before I go to Praveen Prashant, I want to play that clip of what Robert Vadra did. We missed out that part where he called the reporter an idiot. What also, one observation, Mr. Robert Vadra is arrogant. He tries to get physically violent. He has no control on himself. Right? He's completely on the back foot. He has no specific answers for what he has done. But the worst is also Mr. Robert Vadra has a limited vocabulary. He keeps repeating, "Are you serious?" 4 times, and then goes on to call the reporter an idiot. He lacks the language. He lacks the grace. He lacks the basic manners which a person of his age should actually reflect. And I think we are ashamed of what he's done. Here's a small clip, and then I'm going to Prashant, who knows more about the incident.
Would you like to comment on this last
where health is concerned, I'm always promoting it for my friends, and they have the best machines today, and it's a very promising place, and health is everything, so I would definitely recommend for most people to be here and partake and understand the machines. They're internationally recognized, and it's very good if you run, or it has less effect on your muscles, in your bones and everything. So it's overall, it's definitely a new promising place. I don't think we see these machines anywhere else in Delhi.
Sir, how would you comment on Haryana government touching to investigate all the land dealing?
Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Because these questions are being asked for many times.
Idiot, it's a mistake.
Sir, these questions are being asked repeatedly.
Put your camera off. Are you nuts? What's wrong with you?
Sir, these are legal questions.
And you're the right person to answer to.
Okay, Prashant works for a web portal. He was present at the event. He's a journalist. Prashant, tell us more about the event and what was happening there.
Good evening, Arnab.
Good evening, Prashant.
First of all, I would like to say it was not a private event that the Congress party is talking about.
Yeah.
Because we got the invite from Mindpipe, is the name of the PR agency.
Right.
And the lady who gave us the invite was Shri.
Okay.
So if the Congress party is saying it was a private event, it was not, and the lady was Sri Singh.
Right.
We have got an email which we can forward it to you later.
Right.
So it was not a private event.
Right.
That's first. And the second thing is, journalists have the right to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
I don't think that we have been taught that we should not, or we should ask only comfortable questions. We have the right to ask the right questions, and we always ask the right question. It is for the other party whether they respond or not respond.
Right. So there was no intimation that Robert Vadra is going to be at the event. It was just that he turned up.
Yeah. And I can read you that part also for your convenience. This invite was from Mr. Pankaj Arora, MD Geo Spa Fitness, and Mr. Ajit Kumar Sood, Chairman, Mayor Health Resorts Limited.
Right.
And what the invite talks about is that the launch party shall also be attended by Robert Vadra, Meenakshi Lekhi, Raymond Lamba, Ramola Bachchan.
Oh, so it mentioned that.
Yeah, Neelam Pratap Rudy and Neha Sen and the like.
So you are saying the invitation mentioned the fact that Robert Vadra, Meenakshi Lekhi and the others would be attending.
Yeah.
So known fact.
Yeah.
That makes it a very public event, Praveen. You have a copy of that invitation with you.
And Robert Vadra was also mingling with the crowd.
Of course he should. Of course.
Yeah. So I think
Praveen, this is very interesting. We talk to you more, but this completely busts what Randeep Singh Surjewala. Randeep Singh Surjewala put on a very serious face this morning and made a statement about the guarantee of right of privacy, right of personal space, do not ask questions at private functions, etc. It was not a private function, right? It's proven now, Smita, is not a private function. It's a public function. Your name is used by the invitation. There's a PR agency which is calling journalists. And then you go ahead and do this. So the whole argument of this being a private function has just been busted by Praveen. Yes, Sambit, you wanted to come in? Yes, Smita? Smita, before that, Smita.
Yeah, Arnab, we are missing...
The other thing...
Arnab, we are missing something very important over here. I just wanted to remind, if you remember the explanation that comes from the residents of Mr. Robert Vadra and that the Congress is peddling, is that Robert Vadra did not know that he was a ANI reporter, in spite of the fact that big ANI was written on the mic and it was put in front of him, and you just right now played the clip where Mr. Robert Vadra, smiling, very comfortable, was answering to the previous questions posed by ANI. But suddenly when an uncomfortable question cropped up, he forgot, he did not realize that he was giving a bite to ANI reporter, and that's why he misbehaved. So this points to a dangerous thing as to why Mr. Robert Vadra did not realize that it was an ANI reporter after having talked to him for a while. Was he not able to read that it was ANI, or was he not in his senses to realize that he was talking to ANI?
No, whether he was in his senses or not, and this question has also been seriously put. Because, clearly there are two reasons why you go ahead and you assault and you behave in the way that you do. One is that you always behave like this. Or secondly, perhaps that you were not in your senses when you behave like this. But regardless of that, whether you were or were not in your senses, you cannot behave like this. And as far as ANI is concerned, all of us who have been in television know they have the biggest logo on all their mics. And if somebody doesn't know, that is a news channel or that's a news agency, then he's got to be, really foolish. But what happens, Sambit and Rahul Narvekar, is that when you make a mistake, when you behave like that, and then you ask other people to lie on your behalf, then you indulge in a series of lies, and each lie makes the previous lie more confounding, and then you end up taking a decision that it's best to avoid the Newshour tonight. Yes, Rahul, quickly.
Yeah, absolutely right. And I think it's a non-starter, whether it's ANI, whether it's Times Now, or it's a common citizen. This kind of conduct, especially from a person who comes from a family that is totally in public life, is not acceptable. There's a larger responsibility on individuals who are in public life and individuals who come from families who are in public life to have a more balanced conduct. And definitely Mr. Vadra has faulted on this account. And irrespective, like I said, ANI, Times Now or anyone else, this conduct cannot be acceptable.
Well, what was the question that got
Can I get in?
Yes, Smita, yes.
Yeah, there's also this accusation which was made by Mr. Poonawala in one of the channels that this is paparazzi culture. Look what happened to Princess Diana. Firstly, we don't have royalty in our country, thank God for that. So this is not paparazzi culture. This is new wave of Indian journalism. This is a second wave of glasnost, if you want, where young reporters are not going to stand and treat politicians, celebrities like royalty. They're going to ask you questions whether you like it or not.
Yeah, but this is, the Congress party has to learn a lot in this case. Harish Khare, for example, at the Prime Minister's press conference, when he's asked a direct question, when I asked him a straight question on corruption, went ahead to say you cannot interrogate the Prime Minister of India. This is a choice that they have made. And the problem really is fundamentally is with the Congress party. For them, when they want Robert Vadra, he's a private citizen. When they want Mr. Rajagopalan is smiling, it's a serious matter. When they want, he's not a private citizen.
Then he should apologize simply, Arnab.
Well,
he must come and apologize. I am sorry.
The problem is if the Congress party has made this an ego issue.
The arrogance went into his head.
It appears to me
he thinks that his mother-in-law is in power.
Yes, but it's the instruction they get from the top. And Sonia Gandhi ought to realize today that she can't get away with it. She is the president of the Indian National Congress Party, and therefore every decision of the Congress party, including the decision to consistently support and back Mr. Robert Vadra, has Miss Sonia Gandhi's imprint and signature all over it. Ladies and gentlemen, they decided to skip the Newshour. And some spokespersons of the Congress party even told our team at 9:30 that the debate was going well without them and that they were not needed. Deepika is a homemaker. She's calling from Bangalore. Yes, Deepika, good evening.
Hello, sir. My name is not Deepika, I'm Lima.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry. Hi.
Good evening, sir. I have one question. If Robert Vadra is a private citizen, why is Congress people taken responsibility of defending him? You would have left it to him to defend himself. And one more question, sir. Not only the journalist, each and every citizen of this country has a right to ask him Why did he loot our money? We are the taxpayers. We are the pillars of this country. You know how much pain we take to pay our fees, our EMIs, and they don't have idea what pain we go through. And they loot our country like this.
You see, Mr. Rajagopalan, you realize here that if the BJP does not act on Robert Vadra, then they will be in as much of a soup as they were on the black money issue. But they haven't shown any indication yet of actually moving.
Prakash Javadekar should have come out now. Suo moto action should have been taken.
Why haven't they?
Ministry of Information Broadcasting should have defended.
No, but why haven't they?
Camera.
Sambit, why haven't they?
No, it is.
Why haven't they?
Arnab, you have Arnab. Just a second, Arnab.
No, because before the elections you didn't respond like this.
No. Just no. Arnab, you have to realize one thing. If a suo moto action would have been taken, then the topic of Newshour today would have been different. Why intimidation? Why this kind of revengeful politics?
I don't think so.
Law should take its own
I don't think so.
No.
But what about the Delhi police? What about the Delhi police? What about the law and order machinery? Do you think people would have accused you of vengeance?
That for an action to take place, a complaint has to be filed. The INB minister himself maintains that no one should intimidate the journalists.
No, maintaining is one thing.
Sambit, be allowed to work freely.
Sambit, maintaining is one thing.
You place a complaint.
Smita,
he has assured he would be taking action against the people.
Why do you think, they are saying you place the complaint. Would you place the complaint? You've said consistently the government should act.
Look, it's the government's mandate to provide for an environment where media is able to do its job in a free and fair manner. As far as I'm concerned, we are a news agency. Our job is to cover the news and deliver it to our customers. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to chase people who have broken laws and then put an FIR on that. And, I don't have the time, energy or the resources to go through all this.
Have you changed your position, Mr. Patra?
It's up to Mr. Vadra.
Mr. Patra, has your party changed its position? Because this was not the line before the elections, right? I remember when Robert Vadra's car, somebody overtook Robert Vadra's car. You said when we come to power, these kind of things will not be allowed. We will use the law. This is an insult. When a poll officer was transferred for stopping his bike rally, at that time the Congress BJP said when we come to power, we won't allow these things.
I assure you.
No, I've taken your assurance. You have repeated your assurance many times so far.
That.
Pardon
Please.
me?
Yes. We have taken up the matter of Robert Vadra to the people.
No, to the people, no.
Janata Party that
to the people is a very ambiguous comment.
We will take it to the court.
Why do you blame it on the people?
I assure you. No, we are fighting for it. Mr. Khattar has already made a statement.
You see the responsibility. The responsibility of the news organization ANI was to provide the footage. They ensured the footage was not deleted. They kept the footage and they put it out in the public domain. The responsibility of news channels is to expose Mr. Vadra, because if this footage had not come in the public domain, a person like Mr. Vadra would have turned around and said the incident never happened. In fact, that's the reason why he kept saying delete the footage.
We must also remember that the Bharatiya Janata Party government in Goa was proactive to suo moto file a FIR against Tarun Tejpal.
Yeah.
We know about that. So what stops them now is something which they
What's stopping you now? What's stopping you now? Exactly, precisely.
You have to see that in the Tarun Tejpal case, the victim in fact had filed a complaint also.
The
complaints were filed. But Arnab, you know one thing, that some kind of complaint has to be made. We have no problem. We will take action. The minister has categorically
stated that. You asked the Chief Minister of Goa, Mr. Manohar Parrikar, what was his opening statement? He said that the government of Goa has instructed the police
you have to remember one thing. If the reporter says,
you know it better than me.
You have to remember one thing. Why are we? You have to say one. We all are educated people.
And it would be rather unfortunate.
We all are educated people. The reporter has to come ahead and say that, well, yes, this is what has happened.
Run by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Don't we understand a simple thing? The reporter simply has to come and say that, well, yes, this was
why the reporter
event which has happened.
No, but why?
Anyone.
Now you're going to put it on the reporter.
Has to say, we all know. All know. If tomorrow the reporter says, no, nothing has happened to me, how do we say that, well, yes?
No, Mr. Patra. I place on record. This is not how you spoke about Robert Vadra before the elections. You still use him politically in the election campaign of Maharashtra. Robert Vadra was still a political...
Arnab, do you say that we should not follow the law of the land? Do you say that without any FIR being filed, without any complaint being made,
no.
Is this what you
I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you.
No, why the NCP is jumping around on the seat?
Statement to be condemned.
No, I've got a question.
Rahul Narvekar should answer why Ajit Pawar said about urinating comment.
No, Mr. Patra, I've got a question for you. Is the implementation
No, don't ask question
of
to
the
me. Ask
IPC,
question to Mr. Pawar.
the CRPC.
Why did he lose Maharashtra so badly? Go and ask. Have you asked that question to him?
I think
Ajit Pawar said that?
I think Mr. Patra is not capable of defending the question I'm putting.
Why I'm not capable? Don't you worry. You first defend your party.
Irrelevant comments. So, Mr. Patra,
no irrelevant comments, Mr. Narvekar. You should be aware of the fact that for any kind of action to be taken, a complaint has to be filed because legal procedure has to go on.
Mr. Patra, my question to you is very simple.
Please answer my question.
Do you want to dodge, avoid my question because you don't have an answer?
He's taking the sub judice
I am
argument.
asking you a very simple question. In Goa, the IPC and the CRPC has a different implementation as is in Delhi.
Lost in Maharashtra.
No, I think he's not capable of answering the question.
Mr. Patra,
I think you're not capable of answering the question.
Mr. Patra,
and the air of success seems to have hit you so badly that you seem to have only that as a defense to all the questions put to you.
Oh God, Mr. Narvekar, tell me one thing.
I think it's time you start remembering God because the manner in which you are answering. I doubt if you are going to get an opportunity again.
No, Mr. Patra, just a minute. Just think about it with a cool head. 1 minute, please. No, 1 minute, please. You see, no, Mr. Patra, I just want to tell you one thing and then I'm going to a student who's calling from Bagalkot. 1 minute. Mr. Patra, listen, please. What has happened yesterday?
Yes.
It's an attack on a reporter from a news agency that supplies footage to all the news channels of this country. Therefore, it is an attack on the media. The attack on the media is an attack on the people of India and the Indian state, because the media is an advocate of the people. Okay? So it is the responsibility of a democratic government in India as per the law. I repeat, Mr. Rajagopalan, it is the responsibility of a democratic government of India as per the law to take suo motu action as per the law and not say we will do one thing in Goa and we will do one thing in this case. You apply the law. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Mr. Patra,
it's not acceptable.
Electoral success does not allow you to act selectively. If you think because you have won an election that gives you the authority to act selectively in one state and act selectively in another state, then I think you are mistaken. You have misunderstood the mandate that the people of this country has given Bharatiya Janata Party.
But more important,
don't make the mistake of misunderstanding the mandate given by the people of this country.
Mr. Rajagopalan,
they have not given you the mandate to act selectively. Please understand that loud and clear.
Why aren't you acting on Robert Vadra? Why are you pushing it to the young reporter? You are saying the government of India will not take on, you are saying Mr. Government of India will not take on Robert Vadra. Let that 20-something reporter take on Mr. Robert Vadra. I think this is an abdication of responsibility. And by the way, Mr. Patra, if matters were sub judice, when matters were sub judice, 1 minute, the Congress party kept asking questions to your leaders when matters were sub judice.
Answer.
No, there is no answer. Mr. Rajagopalan has a question instead. Yes, Mr. Rajagopalan.
How do you know?
Mr. Rajagopalan.
No answer.
Because when you are given an opportunity to answer, you are talking about all irrelevant things.
Don't dodge it. Yes, Mr. Rajagopalan.
Look at Rahul. Rahul,
Mr. Sambit Patra, you should take on this suo motu action. Now it is 24 hours. The BJP has not even reacted to this till now. The government should have taken suo motu action on this.
I am answering all of you if you just hold on your patience for a while. We all have to follow the law of the land.
The law.
We are with the journalist.
Law.
Just a second. We are with the journalist. We have made a categorical
We don't need, the journalist does not need your emotional support.
No.
The media does not need your emotional support.
There was the law taking its own course in Goa.
We all need to work together. We all need to work together.
Why?
The media needs the support. We need your support. We need India's support.
Why?
We all need each other for a progressive India.
I think that's strange argument.
To say that we do not need each other.
Mr. Rajagopalan.
We have to follow the due course of law.
Sure you do.
I think by now we've realized
what the nation is having in anger. Arnab, I want to tell you, the Nashik, Bengaluru, Jharkhand, Assam, you have given a specimen of the country. They are all angry on this Robert Vadra's incident. Now you must also give out the Twitter, how many Twitter handles you received. That will give you a specimen of what the anger is.
Well, and
I put one question.
I'll make one more point here, and that should not definitely be understood as me supporting Mr. Robert Vadra. The one reason why Mr. Sambit Patra is cautious today is because he realizes the memory.
Why should I be cautious at all? Why should I be cautious? You are trying to protect Robert Vadra. I am not cautious. We are the ones who have been attacking Robert Vadra from the very beginning. You were with Robert Vadra till very recently.
When journalists used to come and question them.
You formed government with Congress. You were dining with Robert Vadra.
That Mr. Sambit Patra is in. But that does not mean if you don't have an answer to relevant questions, you should not dodge them by giving irrational and absolutely uncalled for explanations.
Mr. Patra, a minute. Mr. Patra, this issue, as you have probably recognized right now, is extremely serious. I began the news hours today by saying that who is Mr. Robert Vadra? Now, I don't know a lot of things that Mr. Robert Vadra is not. He's not a person who's risen up on merit or who's, who represents the dynamic, meritorious culture of this great nation. But what Mr. Robert Vadra does represent is the culture of entitlement in the cozy corridors of Lutyens, Delhi. Behind iron curtains, we rule this country and we'll get away with what we want. Now, Robert Vadra is a man who at one point of time said, when the anti-corruption movement was hitting the streets of this country, Robert Vadra on his Facebook page derided the people of this country, saying these are mango people in a mango people, he said, in a banana republic. It was a banana republic because people like Mr. Vadra got away. But I think it's also very strange. And Vijay is a student from Bagalkot. I'm going to him next tonight that the BJP should try so hard to offer an argument of technicality and say, let the law take its own course. Even the restlessness to see immediate action against Mr. Vadra that they had before the election seems to have evaporated after the elections. Vijay from Bagalkot. Vijay, you're still there? Good evening.
Hi, Arnab.
Hi, Vijay. Hi. Good evening.
Great to talk to you.
Hi. Go ahead.
Great to talk to you, Arnab.
Great to talk to you, Vijay. Great to talk to you.
Yeah. And this theory of, private citizen has clearly boomeranged on the party. And I'm really disappointed with the way BJP is reacting on the news hour tonight. So on the behalf of the countrymen, I wish to see the land deals by Robert Vadra to see the conclusion.
Yeah.
So I want a clarification or confirmation from the spokesperson of the BJP in this effect.
So he wants a clarification from what time frame will there be action, Mr. Patra? At least you can tell us that. Under what time frame will there be action against Robert Vadra for his land deals? Can you give us a time frame?
Arnab, as I told you, we will set up a committee, we will investigate, things will be filed in the court of the law, and I am no one to question the court of the law. Remember, the court will have its own time frame for you and for me, or for the caller to say that the court has to be dictated a time frame.
There is a small... No, Smita wants to say something. Smita, yes, Smita. Smita, one second. Yes, Smita.
Yeah, just a word of unsolicited advice to Mr. Patra and to the BJP. The huge mandate that you have won, the reason why you're seeing caller after caller and even on the social media, the aggression is that everybody is scared whether this you scratch my back, I scratch your back culture will come back. Everybody is terrified that you'll forget the reason that you got this mandate and came to power, and you'll get easy in the perks of power that comes in. So everybody wants you to give a time frame and say that this is not. You will not slip into the same problem that the Congress slipped into. Everybody wants action soon, and this is the new brand of reporters who are going to keep fire under your feet to see to it that you don't fall under that same trap. These are the same people on social media. These are the same people who are calling out here. These are the same same reporters who are asking you these questions, just to make sure that you don't fall into that trap, because everybody wants a time frame, everybody wants answers, and everybody wants everything quickly now.
After all, this country is one second. The country is not run by slogans. One second, Mr. Patra. Mr. Patra, Mr. Patra, 1 minute. You see this country.
The mandate that the people have given, within the time frame of the mandate that the people have given, I
5 years.
assure you
that those 5 years.
who have erred, those who have erred,
let me jog your memory a little bit.
Any action that is taken is within the mandate. Within means it may be 6 months.
All right. Mr. Patra, let me jog your memory just a little bit.
Within the mandate that the people have given, we will fulfill our promises. We will fulfill the promise of punishing those who have erred.
I see no reason why the people of this country should get a 5-year time frame to find out how Robert Vadra was allowed to sell land to a private company at 600% profit within 1 minute, within 3 months of getting a development license. It's a very legal and it's a very legitimate question. And Mr. Patra, hear me. And if you are of the view, Mr. Patra, that this party skips the debate, we can sort of avoid the debate by saying somewhere within the time frame we'll do something, then you're sounding increasingly like the Congress party. No. And this, therefore, you will be letting down.
Arnab, just as you cannot declare what debate you will be having tomorrow on the Newshour similarly.
I think I can. I will talk about the most relevant issue. The most relevant issue is tonight is Robert Vadra.
Totally lost.
Within the stipulated period of mandate.
Stipulated period of Mr. Rajagopalan. No, watch it. Did the BJP
Mr.
say?
Modi has said
5 years. He means 5 years.
He said 5 years.
He means 5 years.
The question goes tonight. Also, 2 questions from me. One, should the Congress party have avoided tonight's Newshour debate? B, can the BJP tell the people of India within 5 years we'll do something about the Robert Vadra matter? It's not a complicated issue. The CAG has already found out. There is a 41.51 crore of profit.
Within 5 years means 6 months. Years. It does not mean it has to be 5. So it is within the period that you have granted us. The
people have not granted you 5 years to look into the Robert Vadra matter. You used to say, the CAG's first draft report has faulted. No, you took the CAG very seriously before the elections. Now, of course, we are another line. You used to say
we are extremely serious.
So if the CAG, if you are serious, I'm asking you, the CAG.
I assure you, these people will be punished.
Okay, fine.
They will be punished as never before.
During the CAG's first draft report has found that Robert Vadra's business transactions in Haryana suggested that because of his closeness to the Congress party leadership, he reaped 43.66 crores in violation of the law. And you had told the people, you go to election after election, black money and Robert Vadra were your 2 favorite issues. Mr. Patra, the people of this country didn't tell you to make these promises. You made those promises.
And let me remind them once again.
You made those promises.
And let me remind them once again. The pre-poll promise was to bring back the black money in this country in 100 days.
Okay,
that was the promise.
Devanand Sharma from Hyderabad is next caller. Devanand Sharma, good evening. Devanand Sharma, good evening. 1 second, Sambit. Devanand Sharma. Just mute your TV, please. Mute your TV before you speak, please. Otherwise, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Good evening, Arnab. Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to know a small thing regarding. Hello.
Go ahead, Devanand. I can hear you.
I just want to know one thing. Does Mr. Vadra hold any post in the Congress party?
No.
Does he hold any post in the government?
No. No.
And if he has been given a security of 36 people, as I heard, who is paying for that? Who is paying for that?
You and I are paying for that. Mr. Devanand, you and I are paying for that.
And another thing I just tell you, why I do not understand one thing, why the Congress has thrown their hats to defend Robert Vadra. First thing.
In the morning they did, by evening they've disappeared now.
So today I'm just asking one question here, Sanjay Jha and one Surjewala from Congress today.
Yeah,
morning. I could see because I always watch your programs. First thing, why do they drag Mr. Modi's name for 2002? Well, it was a matter of Vadra. What was the reason? And I have been watching the TV very regularly for the last 2 years, your program, and I find these two persons, Sanjay Jha and Surjewala, always drag the Modi's name for any of the topics.
Well, they have the right to drag whatever name, but that's not the issue today. The issue is let them answer for Robert Vadra first before they talk about others. Devanand Sharma from Hyderabad, thank you very much. I'm running short of time. This is a trending subject in India, #1, and of course globally also the subject, yes, we are serious, is trending. Now, just to wrap up tonight, we are very serious about this. Mr. Rajagopalan, I once again request the Congress party to reconsider their rigid stand to defend Mr. Robert Vadra in the morning and run away from the Newshour. And I extend an open invitation. 2 weeks back, I had extended an open invitation to Robert Vadra. I reiterate the invitation. We will not do a softball interview of the kind another channel did a couple of years back, but we will ask the relevant questions to you, Mr. Robert Vadra. And you can come across. We'll give you all the time that you want. And if the Congress party wants to defend him, they should come on the Monday Newshour, open invitation. And do you think the Congress party should come on the Monday evening Newshour? If you think the Congress party should come on the Monday evening Newshour,
they won't come, Arnab, they will not come.
Well, let's see, Mr. Rajagopalan. Let's see, right?
But the answer may be hell no also. Hell no. It may be hell no if you ask the Congress.
Well, they can send anyone, including the person who says hell no. But let them not run away one more night. 23 hours left for the Congress party to make up its mind. The doors of our studios are open, even for Mr. Robert Vadra. Thank you for watching. Good night and goodbye.